shit show, wireless shit show. It's dark matter and Gil Kintaro. Wireless shit show, 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 wireless shit show. It's dark matter and Gil Kintaro.
That looks like you put something in it.
That's a mushroom.
That is a mushroom.
Shiitake.
Shiitake.
It's not. It's an eringhi. It's an Italian mushroom.
Ah.
That's why it's so much bigger. That's so much bigger.
Wireless shit show, wireless shit show, wireless shit show, wireless shit show, wireless shit show. It's dark matter and Gil.
Where's Mike when you want him to clap?
What? We're not redoing this, all right? This is going to go straight into the editing thing, all right? How is everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry, we're back.
Get down.
Mike is on the road, so he doesn't have his fancy mic. Get it.
Not fancy.
Mike doesn't have a fancy mic. But we got some time to get together. Mike, thank you for all the travel you do and still be on the show. Highly appreciate it, so I don't have to cut in that sleeping image of you on the road. Iceman is clean shaved, which was pointed out to me because I was like, did you get new headphones? He's like, no. What? You look different. It's like, I shaved, motherfucker. I'm like, oh, sorry. Anyway.
You pay so much attention.
How is everybody? Iceman, how was your week? Are you back from the cold? We had a comment on our YouTube previous. People like agreeing that how the fuck does a guy named Iceman catch a cold? So I wasn't the only one, right?
He gets out of a freezer.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a great week in that sense. I managed finally to get to do a video. I get some gear lined up, and I was actually waiting to do some other videos, but on my channel. But this time I got it done. So I took an Android phone, an old Android phone of mine, and updated it with the latest Lineage OS. I don't know if you know that team or whatever they do, but man, there's open source guys who support that Android stack and what they're doing. They're like great. Much kudos to them. Super appreciate for their work that they do. And mind blowing how well they have done it and well written. So I did that, upgrade to Lineage, I installed Termux, and then I ran Proxmark on my Android phone, which I deemed to be obsolete and throwaway worthy, electric junk garbage. So I'm now happy. I now have a new tool still there.
So that video's on your YouTube, right?
All right, it is.
That's super awesome.
It is.
That's not just an upcycle. It sounds like you totally brought it back.
So you took two obsolete technologies, an old Android phone and the Proxmark, and you combined it to bring something to...
I took old junk and I made it work. And of course the comments was, did you use TWRP? I'm like, yes, you can use that one to unlock your bootloader, but I didn't do this.
Dark Matter, how was you've been traveling a lot, right? How's your emotional state? Last time you were a little bit distressed. Are you feeling a bit better?
Yeah. Life's good. There's just a lot going on. A lot of directions, a lot of things going on.
So you were in New Orleans, right?
Yeah. Oh, it was super dope. I had never been before. I had a blast there. It's like Vegas, but the alcohol hits harder.
I've been there once, but in my 20s. But
we were supposed to go for my birthday, but then, as luck would have it, I got invited to go to Black Hat Europe in London, and so that kind of changed the plans and ended up going to London and going to Paris instead. And then just so happened that we had our Black Hat planning meeting and ended up being in New Orleans. So got to go experience some fun with the fam and go check out some fun stuff. So
how was New Orleans? It was
a good time. It's a good time. Oh my gosh, the food, I'm pretty sure I'm 10 to 15 pounds heavier. I ate beignets. So beignets come in a sack of 3, and I ate probably like 6 or 7 beignets.
That was a beignet.
So in New Orleans, one of the traditional desserts there is a French donut. They fry it with, or then they put it in a bag of powdered sugar. And the goal is to get as much powdered sugar. And there's literally like a pound of powdered sugar in the bag. The goal is to get as much powdered sugar on that thing as possible. You just get white all over your face.
It hides your cocaine habits.
No, sir, I just had some beignets.
Yeah, they're
like New Orleans.
There might be some pretty funny. Pictures on the Instagram. Yeah, it was awesome, and it was a good thing. I ran a half marathon, the Las Vegas Rock and Roll half marathon on Sunday. So
yeah, you ran that before too, right? The Rock
This is
and
my
Roll.
third year running it. Yeah, I love that race. It's super fun. They closed down the strip. This year they kind of changed the course a little bit. Normally they started like Planet Hollywood and end at Caesars. This year it started at the New York, and ended at the Bellagio. My knee's been hurting me. I've had some knee back and forth and got a knee injection. What was that, like 4 or 5 months ago now? So I've been kind of nervous about this distance because I haven't been able to run. And last year I ran it in 2 hours and 17 minutes. This year I ran it in 2 hours and 22 minutes. So
Wow.
Nice. So you're technically you could run a full marathon under 2 hours. Doesn't it get like faster exponentially the more distance you go? Isn't that how marathons work?
That's exactly how it works.
220 is fast, man. It's impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt really good. Ended up pushing myself pretty hard and super stoked for the outcome. So I'm very optimistic about my knee right now. In New Orleans, I was doing about 18,000 to 20,000 steps a day following Grifter around. we did walking tours, we did explorations.
So New Orleans is more of a walking city.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Nice.
Did quite a bit of war walking though while I was there. Picked up, I think just shy of 10,000 network.
Very cool, very cool. I've been busy with life and building stuff. My latest creation, which is going to go on the TikToks pretty soon, or I mean the Instagrams, is
Show us.
It's
Is that a flipper?
It's a laser. I don't know how to show this. There's actually a laser there.
And put some Bond music.
And you can turn it on and off with the flipper. So you can go tactical with your flipper.
You really want that to be banned, don't you?
No, I don't. I was going down a rabbit hole on YouTube that inspired me to go down this road.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I fucking love it as well. It's one way of showing the multiple applications of a Flipper Zero.
Hey, Mike, there was a bit of news that I wanted to ask you about because you're the only one that might have been potentially impacted, and even you might not have been impacted. There was a big AT&T outage last week, right?
Yes, there was.
Were you affected by it, or was it
one of my phones may have been impacted, but I usually route all my stuff through Verizon by default. So,
all right.
I was one of the hecklers sitting on Twitter, was laughing about it, and was it BGP or was it DNS? And lo and behold, it was software updates. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
So I guess AT&T came out and said they encourage users to rely on Wi-Fi calling, which then had like a surge of people Googling, what the hell is Wi-Fi calling? Because looking at the news, there are tons and tons of articles now about Wi-Fi calling. All right. So, but it was a pretty big deal, right? Yeah, I think it happened because it happened when I think it was nighttime, my time over here. So I was just like, I woke up, everybody like, AT&T outage. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I heard some anecdotal stories that it impacted a number of things, some scheduling software. It impacted some people's availability, home internet stuff, even people that had AT&T for home internet. It was having issues with that. Businesses were down. Yeah, it was a pretty big phenomenon from what I could see.
Yeah, it looks like AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, all were affected. Did the FUD people come out of their bunkers and go, it's a cyber attack?
I'm pretty sure they did, yeah.
There's a couple of cool news items that I wanted to talk about today. Hackster did a story about a device called the Regeageton Be Gone. So basically, this guy's neighbor loves to blast reggaeton music at full volume every morning at 9 a.m. A hacker or an engineer or maker build a little box using a Raspberry Pi with AI on it so that it could trigger every time it heard reggaeton music coming in, and it will just send packets to the Bluetooth speaker. It will make the speaker not as consistent in performance. So it's basically a Bluetooth jammer, kind of. Now, I feel for the guy. If somebody, I'm a reggaeton fan, but if somebody blasts loud music at 9 in the morning every day, I would also consider doing something about that, right?
Right.
But I hate jammers. But there seems to be an increase because I saw a bunch of news articles about thieves using now Bluetooth and cellular and Wi-Fi jammers around the house, so that when they enter the house, the security system can't upload or trigger, or it knocks out security. This is a double-edged situation for me. It's like, yes, I would probably consider maybe doing similar things if somebody blasted EDM at like 7 a.m, really loud. This last month has been specifically, I've been on that trigger because they're doing renovation upstairs and they keep using that impact driver with that high pitch, like all day long, to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to be here during the day. I'm just going to come in at night because I know they're not doing construction at night.
Yeah. I feel you.
But at the same time, I have expressed my disdain for cell phone and Wi-Fi jammers in the past because a lot of people's lives could be endangered by it. Now, thieves using it, obviously they don't care. I've seen people use it on a train, right? Because they don't like people, on the phones while they're on the train or on the bus or I don't know, wherever, right? And then people are like, well, the DDoS attack is kind of jamming. It's like, not technically, but okay, I get your point. Because theoretically, there's a significant difference between DDoSing and jamming. Like jamming, you flood the frequency so that nothing can get on, right? DDoSing, you're just taking everybody offline, right? Now, the end result might be the same. But if you go to AliExpress, there are like these boxes and boxes of cell phone jammers that people... Now, what's the caveat and disclaimer? We are no legal experts. We are no experts at all.
Local laws.
Yes.
And you would never have bought a jammer from AliExpress. You might have looked it up only.
A lot of countries fucking with cellular service is a very serious crime. Wi-Fi, maybe not so much these days yet. What do you think about jamming? Can you jam like in your space, Iceman? Is there an equivalent? Not
I
that
like to jam it again.
This is the part where you put the sunglasses on.
I'm jamming.
Oh, missed opportunity, motherfucker. But no, is there an RFID?
Everybody's jamming with me. We're
Right.
jamming.
We're gonna get a copyright strike, but maybe not if the singing
Not
is
with
that
that
bad.
voice.
Yeah. No, but is there a similar attack in the RFID NFC space, for example?
Well, the distance reading of things in RFID is so limited, so it's not very much jamming in that sense. There's an attack doing it in order to handle the communication protocol on iClass or PicoPass. Given Sweden, I would say public space. I think we're talking about the public space, the space that everybody shares, what we do in a society when you go outside. And it's been increasingly polluted today, I would say. And it's been polluted by noise, sound, and lights, and in every kind of way. I don't know what happened with society. This is me getting older, I guess, and grumpy old man jabbing at the young generations. But I get fucking frustrated at the young generations. When we started with this phone ring tunes, remember that on the phones?
Ringtones.
Ringtones, like 1,000 of them. We're like, fuck off. And today, that excelled, it's like, so now people is doing calls, which is okay.
It's a phone. You're supposed to.
You can talk slowly. People do it on speakerphone, in a bus, in a trams, in a taxi.
You know what I hate? I hate this.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, what the fuck is your problem? Oh, I don't want to do like that because it's too hard. I'm going to talk like this. And you're going to have it on video as well. Now you're really pissing me off. People do that even at gyms. So what the real people are doing jammers or have used a jammer in public spaces, I totally get it. I would buy one of those fuckers and jam the shit out of things at the gym because I really hate those motherfuckers. That really pulls my nerves.
I don't know.
It does.
I mean, if you're a gym rat, you have to upload to TikTok your
that is
thing.
even worse. This recording in public spaces as well, not asking for permissions and anything like that. This is how polluting down the public space what we're all sharing. And it's so inconsiderate today. And it's so selfish, centric about yourself and believing that you are the only ones to be seen and heard. And I'm like, this is a major impact to society. And then a jammer is the natural progression to, to take back some power, because you can't just go up to those people. Yeah, I tried, trust me. Please, can you stop doing that? I mean, look at me like I'm a fucking idiot, and then they tell me to fuck off. One of my favorite ones to do is actually sitting on the bus. When I ride the bus into town, there are usually some kids coming up there, and they start playing the games and watching a video on loudspeaker and in the bus. And I'm leaning over, is like, can you please put that on mute? And the kids go like, they're shocked, because that's the first time a grown-up tells them how to fucking behave in a public space. So then, of course, the silence. So I'm the grumpy old guy who has to teach other kids, because today's parents doesn't know how to be a parent, because they want to be friends with the kids, and be a young ones.
No, because the parents are going like this on their phone. They don't see the problem with that. Right? Behavior. The funny thing is, this is one of those things that I've only seen in overseas countries, not in Japan, right? Because on the public transportation, they always announce, please put your phone in, so it doesn't annoy anybody else around you. Everybody has their headsets on, earphones on, they listen to music or whatnot. I had one guy watch porn on the train with his Bluetooth headset on, except for the fact that it wasn't paired. So he kept just cranking up the volume, because he was like, this is a low volume. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, your headset is not paired. That's why you can't hear shit.
The public space is such a different place today.
I guess. I mean, I don't get as much.
You guess? If somebody's taking a crap in the station or watching porn on the fucking bus with loudspeaker on, that's something different.
Yeah, but the point is that he was not intentionally broadcasting his porn, right? He thought he had his headphones paired and the volume was low, right?
Yeah, but he still thought it was a great place to watch porn.
Oh, right. I mean,
in the public space. Yeah, that's the perfect place, right?
Don't judge. Don't be judging.
Fuck you, I'm judging. Sam, we're sharing that space. It's not about yours.
The one thing I don't get is this: when they do this, we can hear the other person's voice too.
Yeah.
And I would be annoyed if, I don't know, I mean,
just join the conversation.
Like,
be like, oh yeah, let's totally do that. Let's definitely go get that for dinner. They're like, wait, what's that?
If it was like that, I have seen people having business meetings on the airport bus.
Oh yeah.
With loudspeaker and video. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
There was a business meeting at an airport lounge that I almost jumped in, because the guy said, it's easy, man. It's a binary choice. It's either yes, no, or maybe. I'm like, that's not binary. I was just about to jump in. They're like, that's not binary.
Let's define binary.
I'm like, binary means two. And I was like really close to jumping. I was like, I'm going to let it go.
That reminds me, there was somebody, I can't remember who it was, posted on Twitter years ago. They're like, overheard someone being rude. They're being rude on the phone and talking really loud, etc. I'm now the owner of their startup domain.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one, too. It was like,
I can't remember who that was.
Yeah.
I feel like it was Lintile or somebody.
It was either Lintile or Kaminsky, I think.
But
it was one of those people.
So hard, because it was just like,
Maybe it was Pilgrim. It was one of those people that just went this, like, they were discussing their startup domains, and they just, behind their back, was start registering those domains. What do you think about jamming, Mike?
I mean, it's bad. Don't do it. It's fun to go fox hunt for it and figure out what's happening, and then take like SDRs and see what the signals look like, how the jammers work, because there's a lot of different jamming technologies.
But in your experiences doing a red team engagement, have you ever had to use one?
No, there was a situation where there was door sensors, and I did jam those, so then the door sensors couldn't communicate back to the security system, so then it disabled it. So it's kind of interesting that that's like a news article that like criminals are using that method now, because that's been something, I think it was 2013 was the first time that I started screwing around with stuff like that. There was actually a competition at SynCon called The Vault that was set up with a SimpliSafe, a home security system, and we were able to demonstrate that you could completely, and not even a jammer, Just put a Baofeng, tune it to the channel, and key it, and we were able to. All the sensors just fell right off. Yeah, you could sit there and trigger it all day long, and nothing would happen. Didn't even need a jammer. Didn't even need any sort of specialized technology. Just literally a Baofeng, and you can do some damage with those types of things. So, but yeah, not typically just because of the destructive nature. I mean, yeah, I have in pen test stuff done. DOS to be able to get keys and things like that to be able to start cracking some stuff. And then the other thing too with DOS, I've also done targeted DOS to like DOS cameras. So then that way I'm not being picked up on cameras. If somebody has their stuff set up correctly, then they'll typically have like an SD card or local storage that it can sync later if it's a good quality camera. But a lot of the IoT cameras and shit don't have that, so they're just trash. It's definitely interesting and fun to play with. I've seen some rather fascinating jamming devices. We've had some friends that we know that have created some interesting jamming devices, like that's their job, and you get around them and all of a sudden the screen on your cell phone starts wigging out. So I mean, there's a whole myriad of different types of technology techniques for jamming. Like there's a whole science behind it, doing like wave inversion. And for one, I'm mostly screwing around with a lot of that stuff because of just, A, don't want to be a nuisance, but B, also don't want to interfere with anything that could cause problems. So
let me clarify. In Europe, it's illegal, of course, to jam.
Figured. I mean, even in the US, fucking with cellular is highly illegal. It's gonna be a bit of a short one after I edit this, but hey, at least we got an episode out.
Hell yeah, doing fine. You're the only one who made something this time. You know that.
Dude, I really want you to do like a Bond thing with it. You gotta walk in with it.
You can't see the laser.
Is that a flipper you have, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, God. This is enough. All right. See you guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. Don't jam. Unless you have permission. So, see ya.